Queen Rammy and her husband met on Facebook. However, she was in another relationship at the time and double-dipped for 3 months.
So when I saw him, honestly, I was like, this is mine. Ke stoko saka.
She was intimidated by the age gap, but it turned out not to be the biggest compromise.
I didn't want to feel like I'm a shade of somebody.
Soon after they met, Pastor Mbula decided to open up about his embarrassing past.
Though it's a tough one because sometimes children can be used
The
to fire
weapon.
some.
Yeah, I was in a relationship when he sent that message. And when I responded and he spoke about flexibility, that's when I was like, this can be for me. The reason why I didn't want a pastor is because as a pastor's wife, there are just a lot of expectations. Don't put on a lot of makeup. Don't laugh out loud. And one thing about me, I will laugh out loud. I was not ready to find myself changing who I am in order to fit into his world. One thing I liked, he was straight to the point. I want a wife. I think that's one of the things that stood out for me. And yeah, he caught my attention. I was in Limpopo, he was in Gauteng. So I was not considering relocating for love. I can relocate for money and work, but love, eh? After 3 months, that's when I made up my mind and left the ex. We have an age gap. So I wanted to verify, isn't he married? And I even came later in the day. So for a married man, it was not gonna work. So when I saw him, honestly, I was like, this is mine. Ke stoko saka.
Loan, she loves herself. I'm telling you. She even teased me and said, when you are being left behind. But me, I'm fine with being simple as long as she shines. Yeah, she represents me. She loves style.
I think the most important and special thing about my partner is how he makes me feel. I love how he loves me. My biggest fear when it comes to love was meeting a man who would want to change me. I have a very loud personality, I'm all that, but I was scared of somebody who will tame who I am. So it stood out, the fact that I can be myself, I can laugh out loud, I can be without my makeup and still feel like I'm the most beautiful woman on earth, and everything else is just a cherry on top. His character, indoda my so he's well respected. I love that about him. List what you don't like. I will go first. Not that it's a lot. For me, I think the age gap, it's not that huge, but my level of thinking, I'm like, and then Habi's relaxed. He's a man of the house. He knows his place, but it gets to a place where, as a young wife, I'm like, hey, Arapari short. Let's wear shorts. Let's be. And then he had to adjust to that because he's a pastor. He's used to the formal side of life. Also looking at the fact that he was once married before, I didn't want to feel like I'm a shade of somebody. So I had to bring him to my level to say, baby, life is too short, life is good, let's have fun. So it was a process, I don't want to lie. It was a journey. But I feel like now where we are at a place where we are in one accord.
I'm a little bit slow. Man, we are logic.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel that her being fast, hey, for me, I'm gonna trip. But to a certain level, it works for us because the other one is like this, the other one is like, so we balance each other. Though at first to adjust that, it was a struggle.
I think what makes it easy, in him I found a friend. And I found somebody that is not just a friend, but a lover. So I knew I can do life with this person. So when I say I found my rest, I truly mean it. Everything that I need in a partner, I'm able to say, okay, I can pick this. I remember when I was still single and I went on a vacation, I said, God, this is not what I want. And now that I get to go on vacations with him, I'm like, I feel a sense of fulfillment. And no, my husband or my marriage does not complete me, but it complements me.
I love what I see her becoming while I'm there from the start, through the journey. The first process, we call it courtship, whereby you get to know each other like you're dating. And then after that, we pay lobola, we engaged, but we have never done the white part of wedding. As a pastor, in fact, it enhances the relationship because I live and abide according to the principles of being a Christian person. So it helps a lot.
I think it does have an effect. As a Christian woman getting married, you don't just marry who is available. You have to be in alignment with the perfect will of God for your life. We don't just get married for pleasure, to enjoy, to have kids. There is a purpose, there is a reason. My highlight of my marriage and relationship is the fact that we conquered COVID-19. So we met around that time where borders were closed, provinces, and it's a long distance relationship. So for us to conquer that season, it showed me a lot. Even if they close the borders, they can't close our hands. I think we only took a year. We met in Jan, and then December he married me. I said, he mustn't test me. I'm not a camp. So he knew his story. I think also that stood out for me. I told him there is no way I can be in a 3 years relationship without commitment.
To be a divorcee, it doesn't have any bad effect per se. If you understand that I went through what I went through, I've paid my dues, I learned something. When I fell, I rose up in power. That empowered me to master where I'm going.
I love what he's saying, because being a divorcee, being a widow, being HIV, whatever the case, it does not define who you are. Apart from the stigmas that society gives us, there is still a human being. Imagine if we had to write off all divorcees that after you divorce, you can't marry again. He would have missed out on this beautiful setup. That is why from the onset, I was never ashamed to tell people, oh, he was married before. It's something that did not matter to me, because also he put it down on the table for me to know that, Queen, you're going to be dealing with somebody who was once married. Queen, you're dealing with somebody who has children. He gave me a choice to choose if I want to be in that thing. Unlike being lied to and you only find out in the marriage. So I totally agree with what he's saying.
No skeletons. Just lay everything on the table. And that's when you could sense and see that this person is healed. There's nothing to hide. From that situation, I've learned to become a better person.
The fact that from the beginning he laid it down, I've got kids, I've got this type of a relationship with them, this is what you are blending yourself into. So he gave me a choice to know, oh, there are kids this age and that. I blended myself well. I made mistakes where I wanted to be Mother Christmas. When you're a stepmom, you just want to fix everything. But then I learned from them and I said to my husband, lead the way. How your baby mamas treat me is what you allow. I don't think, and I say this with all humility, don't come for me, I don't have parents. There is no baby mama who can disrespect a wife while the husband is there. He is the one who needs to protect me. So I blended well with these children. After my mistakes, I took a step back, and now I'm a happy stepmom. Also, there were fears, Not every woman wants a man who has children, and vice versa. Not every man wants a woman who has kids. So I think there was a level of also fear. How will she take the fact that I'm a divorcee? How will she take the fact that I've got children and it didn't work out with their baby mamas? You can take it from them, Mala.
For me, the rule is be clear that this is the situation, this is what I'm dealing with. We don't have any issues. She doesn't have any issues. In fact, she loves the children.
Kids for me were not a deal breaker. A deal breaker is a man who will go and cheat. A deal breaker for me is a man who will abuse me. Those are deal breakers, character traits. But him having children is not a mistake. That was his life purpose. Him coming from the family that he comes into. Those are things that I cannot change. But character is what will stand out.
I don't do things behind her back. If I want to send money or I want to do something, I speak to her and then she'll say, oh, you go ahead. I don't go around. And
I think that's very profound, my love. I think we need to get to a level where times have changed. Baby mama drama, those things, I think they are now losing. People are co-parenting in healthy relationships. Exes are no longer bitter. Some wives have good intentions, They want their father and their children to blend well, to have a relationship. Even apart from money, fighting, it only affects the children.
As she says, my queen, sometimes she will ask me, hey, When have you spoken to your daughter or your son? She pushes me to that level that, hey, be responsible.
I grew up without a father. There is no way I can say my husband must not be a part of his children's life. I know that pain. I have to push him, even if he's rejected or even if he's not having enough money to send them. But a relationship can never be based on finances.